Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Beyond the Summit studio. We're here with Bucharest Dreamhack coverage, and the finals are among us. Alliance versus Cloud9 coming up, boys. What's the good word?
Well, they played yesterday, and Alliance just didn't have it. Not enough gas in the tank.
It was close. It was 2-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was close to them giving them credit for, but Game 2 was very stompy in favor of Alliance, and then, well, Cloud9 I just felt like got to play their style in 2 of the 3 games, and they won those 2 as well.
So coming into the finals, there is no winner's bracket advantage in the traditional sense. We've been talking about that best of one game advantage and a best of 5. The advantage is Cloud9 starts with pick side advantage. Is that correct?
I believe so. There's not a one game like winner's bracket advantage.
Right.
That's for sure. And my understanding is that they do get choice of pick inside, and they're starting on, well, at least one. So they're starting on the Dire side here, which, based on yesterday, does seem to be more comfortable for them than Radiant.
Okay, so looking at the matches yesterday, Game 1, Loda played a Naga and didn't pan out so well. There was a pretty farm TA in that game that gave them a run for their money. Game 2, Alliance went a pretty hardcore pushing strat, then punished the greed of Cloud9. Double Midas just got completely run down by a Pugna.
Yeah. And it was double Midas, Drow, SF.
Ouch.
So, yeah,
Extra
really, like, heroes that take a long time to come online.
Yeah, and then Game 3, of course, Cloud9 were able to seal the deal. That was an Aoi 2000 Enigma, S4 Magnus. S4 was on the Magnus, and it was a Loda Morphling, and, well, Cloud9 just kind of got the better of them.
Yeah,
They got
Naga in Game 3, and I mean, we talked I think at Starladder a lot about sort of like what are the biggest, most important heroes, and we came up with 5. It's Ember Spirit, Lycanthrope, as 6.80 kind of winds down. It's Lycan, Ember Spirit, Invoker, what else is on Bat Rider and Naga. Those were like the 5 big heroes, and teams that get at least one of them generally seem to come out on top, unless the other team gets a trade.
So where's Ancient Apparition been fitting into the Western meta these days? Because he's still all the rage in the East.
Nah.
He's kind of, I wouldn't say he's disappeared, but in this tournament we haven't seen much of him.
Yeah, no.
Pretty much non-existent.
What do you think about AA right now, Ben?
He's okay.
He's just okay.
I don't know. It depends on what kind of strats they want to run. And I think that Game 1, Alliance, I actually think played pretty well. And I think they should have won it with the Naga. Loda died like a few too many times. So Game 1, I would say Cloud9 outplayed Alliance. Game 2, Alliance outdrafted and outplayed Cloud9 with the Pugna and the push. And Cloud9 just got Midases and didn't draft against push.
I don't think it was a total outdraft, though.
It wasn't
part of it was the itemization where they went
outdraft and outplayed.
Yeah.
And then Games 3, I think that the draft was pretty even. And no, actually, their draft was a little suspect. Morphling just took a little bit too long to get online. They had Naga to counter the Bat Rider, but Cloud9 certainly outplayed them. So, firstly, I think Alliance needs to get a better draft than Cloud9, or else they're not very likely to win. Secondly, they have to contest Roshan. I think they probably did like 7 Roshans in the 2 games that they won on Dire. One was 4 for sure.
Yeah, game 1 they got 4 Roshas in a row.
They cannot do that. It was a Rasta, a Luna, and a TA, and they just killed Roshan every time. And Alliance tried to contest, and that was the beginning of the end when they tried to contest and they lost that fight. And I think it was the 3rd Roshan.
A lot of that comes down to draft, where you either have to ban out the heroes that are best at taking Rosh, or pick up heroes that are really good at contesting.
They had Naga. They just it just wasn't fast enough. They didn't take down the T1 tower, I don't think, early enough.
Yeah, I love the way they laned in Game 1, though, because they ran I think it was a Safe Lane Prophet for Bulldog, Solo mid Invoker for S4. He went Quas Exhort, which he doesn't normally do, and then they went aggressive trying with the Naga. The laning was really good by Alliance.
Yes.
They were winning their lanes convincingly. Bulldog TP'd in top as the Safe Lane Prophet around level 4-5. They get first blood, they take the tower down, and they're running the double global strat in the mid game, and they were in great shape, but Loda just got picked off a few too many times. Team didn't really protect his farm. His radiance wasn't even that late. It was like I think it was like a 15, 60-minute radiance, something like that. And
the next item came out.
The next item was super late. He died like 3 or 4 times in a row. Cloud9 kept on picking him off, and they just got a little sloppy, to be honest, in the mid game.
Yeah. So we talked about the 5 heroes that are first pick, first ban. You have to let one of them through.
I think it's different for these 2 teams.
Yeah. So who are like the value first picks?
Well, Treant was a big problem for Alliance.
Ooh, the scary Treant.
It was a huge problem. They straight up first banned him in one of the other games. Wow. So I think that's a big issue. Also, I think Rasta and or TA on Dire for them is pretty big deal.
It was also the combo. Like you can give them Rasta, you can give them TA.
You can't give them both.
You can't give them like a Rasta Lycan or a TA Rasta on the Dire side unless you get something really good as a trade.
Or you just prepare better for the lanes. Like Rasta Rasta can't offensive tri-lane, and TA can get shut down pretty easily with Darkseer, Venomancer, Viper, whatever you want to do in mid, and they didn't take advantage of their weak lanes, even though those were their first 2 picks. It was straight up, no, TA was 3rd, I think, and Rasta was 2nd. So
that was literally like, hey guys, we're going to be taking Roche as much as possible this game. I mean, it's a red flag, but I think that game, if they'd executed better, they would have been fine.
Yeah,
that lineup running a Quasi-Exort Invoker, running Nature's Prophet, and running Naga, and they also had Keeper of the Light. And you can just constantly push in the lanes and just control the entire map, with the threat of the global gank as well. But Cloud9 just moved around better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think Alliance does best when they bring something unexpected to Cloud9, like the Pugna push and the offensive tri-lane with Wisp Naga. And Coddle, you didn't expect any of those. And that's when I think they had a really good advantage in both of those situations.
I actually think they should have 2-0'd Cloud9, because I think they should have just played game 1 better. And if they'd won that game 2...
So who are your rares on? Who are you betting on?
I don't know if they will play better. It's the main thing. But
it's EGM drafting this time, so I think that's better than Loto or S4. Just because
the team just felt like they kind of needed something different, so they've been kind of in a rut, and put someone else in the captain slot. And
I'll go with Cloud9 here, or sorry, Alliance here. I have faith in Alliance.
So decisive. He doesn't even pick.
I will go with Alliance. I like Alliance. I think that it's getting real close to crunch time, where if they don't do something well, they're gonna get like 9th through 16th at TI.
Yeah, you can't. Well, you say that. Navi looked pretty awful heading into TI too, and still did very well.
But Navi has a proven track record of being like crunch time, right? Alliance, they've only been
proven
champions
track
once.
record of being like top dogs going in and then delivering on it.
Yes. Yeah, that's
okay. Well, you say Alliance 2-0, is it? Or 2-1?
2-1. I don't think they'll take it 2-0. They could.
I'm going with my boys, Cloud9, 2-1. I think it will be close. I think Alliance will outdraft them one game, but push comes to shove, I just think Cloud9's executing better.
My heart says Alliance. My brain says Cloud9.
Why is your heart not with Cloud9?
Because Alliance is a lot more fun to watch.
Really?
Yeah, I think Cloud9, they just...
I agree with you. Lately, they've been quite creative. But it's funny to say that, because 6.78 Alliance was like...
Lately, they have...
the most repetitive team.
I definitely agree, but now Cloud9 seems to be pretty repetitive, I'd say.
Well, by the way, the draft is underway, so I guess we should go ahead.
What about you? Wait, we need Andrew.
I have to agree with Ben. I think Alliance will take it. I think going down to the losers bracket, this is that second chance up against the ropes. I'm curious to see how EGM drafting is going to affect this series. I think it'll be for the better.
No winners bracket advantage, though. That's huge. Like, if they don't have that, I think Cloud9 just takes it easily.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about how the time to rest can be a big deal, but this was only one extra series that Alliance had to play, so fatigue should really not be a big issue here.
Well, with that being said, we can chat more about predictions, but the draft is well underway. So
I'm going to predict the winner of Game 1 after Game 1.
You can't reserve the right to change your prediction.
No, I'm kidding. It was a joke.
Jeez.
It's like we can wait for it later. I was like, how are you going to wait for predictions after the game? Okay. Well, here we go.
People.
Where's the custom draft overlay? Oh my goodness. Got to deal with this
K-pop tosis.
plebeian graphics.
I feel so like...
Wow, Cloud9 banned Magnus, they banned Batrider, and they banned Keeper of the Light. So at least
banned Slark.
His Slark crushed them.
Yeah.
No, wait, no, it crushed Na'Vi.
Yeah, the Blink Dagger Slark.
Well, it is very good for Stream Protector.
The other bans that I like here from Alliance are the Shadow Shaman ban in the first phase and the Naga Luna ban. I actually like almost all the bans in this game. I'm not so sure about the Cloud9 ones, but
yeah.
Alliance are banning out heroes that they've struggled mightily against.
I think
very recent
first ban of Shadow Shaman on Dire, or if Cloud9's on Dire, they should do that every single time. They're just too good with it.
It's Dire Roche advantage. And Cloud9, I think they're the best team at exploiting. I mean, look at Eternal Envy when he's standing for EG at Starladder. This guy smoked when his team had 0 map control as Lycan on Radiant. Into the pit. Kills off the Roche. This is a team that understands the importance of Roshan and always finds their openings into it.
So Alliance with the Ember Spirit, though, they have banned out Magnus, so every time I think I've seen Alliance with Ember Spirit, it's been a Loda, Ember Spirit, and a S4 Mag. So they won't have that this time, and Admiral Bulldog's been playing a awful lot of Darkseer lately. His Darkseer's decent.
I think normally this goes with a Sand King as well, so that's what I'm expecting for Alliance here as their second support. They go for the Dazzle now. Cloud9 already have their support, so there was no huge need to pick a support up, unless they just want to grab both in this phase, which I guess they do. But yeah, so, I'm expecting a Sand King for Alliance. For Cloud9, what are they going to run here? They have the Sing Sing Invoker, Eternal Envy's hero yet to be picked up, and Bone 7's also yet to be picked up.
They could just go like a Centaur +1.
What's the +1 for EE?
It depends on what alliance picks. They could pick Luna easily.
There's Tiny
no,
out
Luna's
there.
already banned out.
They're not
They
known
don't-
for running Tiny Wisp,
They
but
do not run Tiny. I don't think Eternal Envy plays that.
I can't recall ever having seen them do it.
Reserve
But
time.
It is strong.
Tiny Wisp is it's kind of like that. There was a period where DK was slumping when 6.79 came out. They had been like dominating 6.78, and there you go, Tiny Wisp.
We'll
so
see it.
I'm expecting Sandkin here for Alliance, but yeah, DK was really struggling, and then they just started like picking Tiny Wisp every time they needed a win, and they would like lose the lanes, play mediocrely through the mid game, but they had Tiny Wisp, and they would just get farm on Birdie, and they'd win it late.
Could be Disruptor. Disruptor destroys EO Wisp, and it pairs very well versus Darkseer.
That's true.
So I think those two are pretty darn good, though. They could also go Timber right now. Timber chops through 3 strength heroes.
They have
but-
run S4 Timber in the past. They've also run it for Bulldog on the offlane. In fact, they ran it yesterday
5
versus
seconds remaining.
Fnatic in their first game.
OD's
I
pretty
think it was
good,
their
too.
second game.
I think OD's fairly good against EO Tiny,
Reserve
and
time.
it can lane well versus Invoker. So Alliance have a lot of options.
This
open
is
to
going to
them.
be a buff Tiny. Living Armor, Alacrity, Overcharge, Tether. He's fat.
Yeah,
You-
they need to try and kite him.
You know what happened yesterday was Ogre Magi Tiny for Fnatic.
Dude, Ogre Magi's ownage.
You got the max Bloodlust, and
Just wait till 6.81.
I just caught a little bit of it on the rebroadcast because Gods and Bulba were casting that one, but
So let's see. if
solo
they
it was solo
pick-
mid Ogre too.
Dude, Ogre is so legit. I can't believe he's getting buffed.
He's to me he's just a fun hero. Like sure the hero's fairly simplistic
He's
and
fun.
very random,
He's
but
fun and ownage.
yeah.
You can be both. You can be like Pudge. Denny's Pudge owned.
Yeah, had his moments, and they'll go the Disruptor you mentioned. So
Dire team back.
pretty good follow up for Darkseer, or set I guess set up.
It's
as well.
really good. You can vacuum him through the kinetic field. So normally you can't traverse that, but with vacuum you can. So you can like bring him in and just silence him. It's painful.
Yeah,
10
there are.
seconds remaining.
I mean, there's some solutions for it, like the Wisp relocate out. Just I guess
5
Living Armor won't be
seconds
too useful
remaining.
there, but well, on paper it is a very strong AoE teamfight combo. But will Cloud9 get caught in a teamfight is the question. Running Tiny Wisp, running the Invoker for Saint Saint, I'm expecting a Necrobook and just a lot of split push Dota from them. And Disruptor can work out well with Glimpse ganks there, or counter ganks anyway, but we'll see. I wonder if they actually get to hit that combo this game.
Ember kind of tears apart Wisp though. That's the one thing I'm worried about. They don't really have that great lockdown for him. Sun Toss, you can kind of dodge it if you're. And even if he doesn't, they have Dazzle to back him up, and Invoker doesn't have that great lockdown. Cold Snap's okay until you get a Scythe of Ice or Orchid. Ember can kind of run free.
So Alliance will now need their safe lane farmer, I suppose, and we'll
It could be Ember.
Yeah, it could be
We
the
have
Ember.
no idea.
Actually, they have run him in the safe lane, but either way, it should be an S4 hero as the final pick. And I guess the big one that jumps out at me is Puck right now. They've got the good AoE team fight. They could use an initiator here. Ember's not a bad one, but the Blink Silence is quite nice against heroes like Invoker, Wisp, and Cloud9 will actually ban TA, so
Alliances
not
turn
as
to
much
battle.
synergy with these heroes in terms of team fight, but I guess just trying to secure the late game for their team.
I would like Puck. His Puck hasn't been like terribly impressive lately. They might turn towards something like Storm too for a little bit more gank power.
Cloud9 have pretty weak lockdown, mainly just Cold Snap, EMP. Tiny, somewhat unreliable with his. So, yeah, Storm could work. They could also, in theory, run a Darkseer. I mean, in theory, the Ember can go safe lane, Darkseer mid for S4, and you get something else for Bulldog in the off lane, like maybe a Centaur or something.
Yeah. I mean, you really have no idea what they're gonna do. I would like to see Timber mid too. Timber mid, I think, would be pretty good. 3 strength heroes. Come on.
Timber's
Throwing
good
death.
with this combo, actually, and that was very similar to what EG were running. They were running,
Reserve
at one
time.
game, they ran an Ember, Darkseer, Timber, and Tree. There's no Tree, but Disruptor's not a bad replacement, and just the deeps.
The deep.
The AoE deeps
He
are
does so
insane.
much damage.
Cloud9 go Storm.
Alliances turn to
So
pick.
is it gonna be the Wisp Storm off lane, or is it gonna be a solo Tree off lane? Is it gonna be a tri lane?
How are they late? Like, who's playing what? Saint Saint's normally the Invoker player.
It could be like aggro Tri with Tree, EO, and Tiny, and Storm mid, Invoker safe. That's it's strange, but a lot
Double melee tri-lane, but they do have Leech Seed, so...
You see his ownage, man.
10 seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
I'll never underestimate that spell again.
So what will Alliance take?
5 seconds
They have a minute.
remaining.
Puck, probably pretty good here. Good versus Storm. Good
Reserve
versus Tiny
time.
Wisp.
Yeah, Puck's kind of like a safe pick.
Yeah. It is. So
The puck indeed.
yeah. I wouldn't say either team outdrafted. Well, actually, I think since Alliance is on Radiant and Cloud9 is on Dire, I think if it's an even draft, Alliance actually is like quote-unquote winning the draft because in theory they should be at a disadvantage on Dire, or at least that's how it felt like yesterday. So I think this is pretty good.
Their team's pretty good at scouting the pit. Although, to be fair, it was in some of those other games as well. They had Invoker, Prophet, even Naga, but Loda, Ember Spirit, one of the best heroes, I would say, just because, well, not one of the best, but he's up there, and there's just nothing you can do to prevent him from getting vision either with the Spirit, so that's not too bad. That's probably the main hero.
Yeah,
They are very team fight centric here.
I think the big part of it last time was they couldn't actually fight in the pit. Sure, they'll know it, but you have to fight under roster wars. Those things are a pain in the butt. And
There's nothing that scary to fight under
yes,
this game.
so I think that's really good for Alliance. They have to control Roshan though. They can't let Cloud9 get 4 in a row. That's just it's so hard to come back from that.
Well, what are we going to see out of our lanes here? Cloud9's the team I'm most interested in, and it looks like they might go aggressive. We'll have a quick pause as the game gets underway, and it gives us a chance to introduce our teams here. Alliance on the Radiant side, Cloud9 on the Dire. Game 1 of your best of 3 Dreamhack Bucharest finals. We have Bone7 playing the Storm Spirit, AUI 2000 on the role of the Wisp, Sing Sing the Invoker, Pylai the Tree, and that will leave Eternal Envy handling the Tiny.
Eternal Envy. I'm not comfortable playing this hero. That isn't Luna.
A subtle shot at his critics, perhaps. He played some good Marana.
He did. But can he play Tiny? That's the question. What's our stats? How many times has he played? Okay, he's on it.
K-pop's on the case. And on the Radiant side, you've got the Alliance. They've struggled a bit recently, but they're coming on strong now. Hopefully refreshed for their fans, and will at least give Cloud9 a run for their money here in the Grand Finals. Ake, your Disruptor. S4, Mr. $1 Million Coil Man himself playing the puck. Loda will be handling the Ember Spirit, and that does leave Bulldog on the Darkseer, as well as EGM on the Dazzle.
So 55-45 odds in favor of Cloud9. Sounds about right, especially judging yesterday's performance. But Alliance, they did very well versus Fuzzy Bears. Fluffy Bears.
Envy's got a big mouth today, huh?
Yeah.
It's a lot of chatter. Let's play Dota. Well, after seeing the draft, any favorites here? Do you like either team's draft better?
I would say slightly Alliance because I expected him to lose the draft when C9's on Dire. So I would say Alliance is pretty good.
So you like Alliances better?
Slightly more.
Okay.
If it were two normal teams, like two teams that aren't Alliance, or one team that isn't Cloud9, I would say that it's probably pretty even.
Wow.
But they make such a good use of Dire that them not having a big Roshan advantage is pretty significant.
They'll tether up on the tree and just head straight towards the enemy woods. One ward up on AUI 2000, but Alliance are going to defend their jungle, and they're doing so in numbers. So Cloud9 going aggressive here. They won't get any wards up. They won't block any camps before the creeps spawn, at least not as of yet. Scouting out for a potential 5-man. Not finding it just yet, but I think this is quite important for them, though. Making sure they have their camps secured. They have Darkseer who's going to use the stacks, Loda who's going to use them as well, and even these supports have some decent AoE from the Disruptor, the Dazzle, so this is a lineup that needs to control their jungle early and be able to stack on Alliance, and Cloud9 not able to get in as of yet. We'll see if they can later on, though. They are adjusting their lanes now. EGM heading towards the top rune, Loda going to the aggressive lane, so having not seen anyone in their woods, are they expecting Cloud9 to go defensive?
I think they expect Cloud9 to go aggressive because they don't really have any good offlaners. So that the best way to compensate for that is just to have 2 or 3 heroes there.
Yeah. Well, that would be the natural thought, I guess. The way I'm looking at it is they didn't send anyone in the woods, and generally if you're going aggressive, you try and control the enemy jungle, but well, they'll wait until now to
They're
do
scared
it.
of the Leech Seed, man.
Fear the Leech Seed.
Well, they aren't actually able to block, though. Pylai will scout out Aki.
You can just magic bush block this.
No boots on him.
And can they zone him out? He's just chilling. This tree is such an immobile beast of a hero. And actually, let's see. Are they going to try and tether through? Well, I have another pause here. Bone7, our first game of the day, trying to sort out some small hotkey issues. And if anyone is wondering, it's not yet 6.81 unless they stealth patched when we were setting up today, but I don't think so.
I'm pretty pumped for 6.81.
Yeah, I'm pumped as well.
So S4 actually got a slightly better block, I'd say. He had his range creep blocked out in front. It's already died, so Sing Sing will only have his creep wave on his ramp for the first wave. And S4 already got one deny. So that's about the only thing that's happening at this game, besides Trient able to do the thing.
What do you guys think about the Ember Spirit Dark Seer combo? Ion Shell mixed with Flame Guard.
It's ridiculous.
It's pretty
Even
potent.
without Flame Guard, he still does like so much damage just because he's up in your face all the time.
Yeah.
Don't spam all chat, please, caster.
It always comes back to that Gods Enchantress cosplay, huh?
It's just never gonna happen at this point. I have no faith in gods.
He has a wig, that's about it.
Supposedly there's a female acquaintance that's supposed to be assisting him with the costume, but
Assisting.
A likely story.
a likely story indeed. Oh wow. For now they're on Bulldog in the dual lane with Ake, so they're running this Darkseer dual lane. In terms of Cloud9's lockdown here, they have Avalanche. Not too much in terms of stuns, but a lot of harassment. This tri-lane does not look promising for Alliance early on.
No, it does not. Trias is able to zone them out, and they're blocking all of the spawns too. Second time in 1 minute. So.
Who needs wards?
Oh, actually, they failed to block 2 of them. So
Yeah, didn't quite get on the bush.
nice try with the magic bush.
And, well, another dive. In comes Pilot Eye once again. Just complete zoning. And it looks like Eternal Envy, with the lane pushing in from Ion Shell, there's not going to be any experience here for Alliance. It's almost like they need to stop Ion Shelling the creeps and let the lane come to them. But, well, elsewhere on the map, EGM is hunting. He's trying to shut down Bone 7, and Bone 7 only level 2. He's gotten a level up here. He's squeezed what he can out of the lane, but
GG Mud Golems.
not having a ton of fun now.
GG Mud Golems. So much trouble for Bone 7.
Yeah, and it's jungle wars, basically. Like, nobody's playing normal laning. Problem's going to be for EGM. Bone 7's hit level 2. It's a bit low in mana here, so, well, the net result will be Bulldog rotates to the woods. He is getting something out of this. A Pilot Die and AUI on the chase. Both teams just playing some very unusual laning.
More Mud Golems. Mud Golems are the plague of this game.
There should be like a Mud Golem indicator on the minimap.
Yeah.
Just like a skull and
That'd actually
crossbones.
be pretty funny.
A skull and crossbones, just to let you know that death is all you'll receive for your time here. Uh-oh, this could be our first blood rune. There's no Observer Ward here for Alliance. They've only got one down towards the bottom lane. And if they go on mid right now with Leech Seed and right clicks, oh boy. Oh boy. S4 is in trouble. Has it been spotted out yet? Bulldog with the pings now. They'll chase him out. He's already got a surge, so he's not going to die to this, but we'll be under heavy harassment. They're typing him to the tier 2.
That damage. He has 6 armor too. So S4, he's used his flask though, so he's okay. He's all good.
Yeah, I thought they were going to go on mid. They did have Cold Snap there. Could have invoked the Sunstrike as well, but up not to bother with the puck. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Eternal Envy diving deep. He's got living armor up. Almost kills off Ake for this jukes through the trees. Is able to survive for now. Now Eternal Envy will have to halt his aggression. Salve up from Ake. He can tangle up as well if he needs to. He's already done so, in fact. But they're threatening to go on him, and they need some Bulldog Areno in this lane pronto to get him out.
Yeah, I think it's better for Aki to stack and then Admiral Bulldog try and get levels. I guess the one problem is that Aki can't farm the jungle safely because he doesn't have Surge. Oh, they might glimpse him back.
They'll glimpse him back into the tower. Eternal Envy could end up being our first blood. Ion Shell taking him down. It quickly removes the living armor charge. The Surge is available. Does AUI have much regen left? Just a single tango. He'll eat it now. And it's not enough damage. Bulldog just not able to keep up with the
Tree
Eternal
armor,
Envy.
OP.
Yeah. They even removed that first set of it, or I guess it wore off, but just popped it right back on.
They don't have boots either on any of their heroes.
And it's also only a level 1 Surge. If this Darkseer had a few more levels, I mean, it's 4 minutes in, he's only level 2. So, if he had gotten his levels up earlier, then that probably would have been our first blood going the other way. So both teams narrowly missing, but... And
Ember's
Ember is just, yeah, completely free farming. The Tiny's close to it, but not quite there. Mid lane is looking to be a win for S4. Slight win, but a win nonetheless.
That's pretty surprising considering it's an Exort Invoker. He has 88 damage right now. S4 only has 73. And he has Fort Spirits.
This is what happens when Envy's laying out the smack talk in all chat before the game starts. He
Well, there's an Invis Room bottom.
Lights
Not
a
sure
fire
if
under his
EGM
ass.
knows it's there.
Yeah, no, they only have this lane ward, so
Yeah,
I don't think he's walked up over here yet.
Do it!
Hasn't scouted it just yet.
There's a bottle on EO. Looks like he's about to head for that rune.
This is an interesting Ember build. 1-2-2 at level 5.
Yeah, for some reason, I forget. We saw another Ember Spear do this too.
Well, the Flame Guard, like getting level 1 Flame Guard is
oh, he's
pretty
putting
useful.
pressure on Pilot Eye.
Diving a bit. Now Loda, he's got a Sleight of Fist in 17 seconds. Not really enough to get the kill. They will back off. Meanwhile, mid lane, just some trip blows being traded, but Envy's walking around, wrapping around. Level 4, he could get the first blood on Bulldog. Oh, this could be bad. They'll toss up EGM, in fact. They get the first blood. They're looking for 2. They might be able to find Bulldog with the Spirit. It's only 1. One more right-click. The Spirit splashing through. Can they secure the double kill? Ooh, there you go. Envy jams it in. And meanwhile, they also got a kill mid on the puck. So 3 heroes down. Cloud9 off to the races with that start.
Invoker does get the return kill, but yeah.
But yeah, like K-Pop was mentioning, this is more of like the Chinese Ember build, generally speaking. And I mean, the big thing is Flame Guard's quite useless at level 1. It only takes 50 magic damage to remove it. So if you're gonna level it, you have to level it up a lot. Our team fight recaps are drunk, but that's okay. We're waking up, guys. Oh, glimpse back attempted by Ake, but just a little bit too late. Sing Sing will stick around mid. It's a good attempt, though. So, the trades overall, I mean, on paper they're free farming the Ember, but they've given up a lot for this. They've given up the kill mid on the puck. Sing Sing level 7 on the back of that. The puck, for S4, only level 6. And they gave up a double kill bottom. This is not a good start.
Bone 7's suffering a lot, though. He's only level 4.5. He has 15 CS, most of them neutrals. And lucky him, he doesn't have another golden spawn.
Well, he is going to clear off a big stack here, though, fairly soon. In spite of the fact that he's just jungling, he's going for
Bulldog on
more
bottom.
points in Vortex. Bulldog surging out. Can they finish him off? Envy not able to do so. In comes the Dazzle to heal him up. But yeah, Bone 7, interesting to see him. He's focusing on the jungle, but hasn't leveled up Remnant or Overload at all. Which, normally you don't. You normally go for this build when you're mid and you're just trying to gank.
Who are they going to kill?
Maybe the Wisp. No, the Tiny just goes in, straight onto Bulldog. Does get graved and healed up. Now Envy on the run. In comes the rotation from S4. They'll find a single kill. AUI searching for one. He gets the last Wisp bounce. Kills off the Darkseer. Well, they lose 2 there, but they do force in a TP rotation, and they do get the Darkseer.
They had to punish that sometime, though. With Treant off in the safe lane, or as he is now in mid, and a Wisp Tiny in your off lane, you cannot allow them to get away with that. But Ember's still farming away. Looks like just phase boost on him. No drums or sign of drums. Not sure what build he's going to go. Invoker. Not sure if he's going Midas, but Sing Sing typically does.
Well, especially with the start he had getting the kill early on the puck, I would be a little bit surprised if he doesn't.
Yeah, his CS is not that great, though. Both mid sitting around 25, 7 minutes in.
For Cloud9, good lineup to farm the Ancients, and with the Tiny later on. He's not hugely farmed yet, but has Treads, has Quelling Blade, and they have gotten a single stack off. So, the one thing to consider is Alliance are also quite good at contesting those. And Bone 7, oh, he's got to be careful top. This is a level 7 Ember. Can actually dive him and maybe go for a kill. Bit worried about the TP rotation. Wisp not yet level 6 yet, though, so there's no relocate available. Now they're going in. Bone 7's on the run. Rotation will be forced out. One go to TP back immediately.
Just a Wisp. I think they could have killed him.
Well, the Spirit comes in. Lotus scouting here. He's also got an Ion Shell on him. Is that level 3 yet? Yeah, it is. That's a scary combo.
Oh, he's going home. Maybe he'll go in for a kill before this creep wave dies.
He's still got a Spirit at the tower. He'll be right back after these messages. Bulldog's moving into position. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they might go for a dive, but the focus is on top. The Darkseer surges in. Loda comes flying back into the lane, hits the Sleight of Fist, connects on AUI, gets pulled into the tower, but still very healthy, bringing them down quickly. They find the Disruptor kill, but well worth it with this 2-for-1 trade at the top lane. And now Sing Sing could be next. S4 brings him down. So the lone death for Alliance here is the Disruptor, but they get the trade.
Did they not see that coming on top? Like, dive with double Ion Shield? I mean, you can see that coming from a while away. Oh boy.
Grave onto EGM bottom lane. Can he get out of here? Poison touches Envy. It's a level 2 Poison Touch. Envy's a bit slow, though, without the Wisp to keep him alive. Now forced to TP out. No coil available. Can they bring him down in time? The tower gets the kill. And they turn it around once again. Wow, what a topsy-turvy game. Starts off 3-1 for Alliance, or for Cloud9 with the first blood. Now 7-5, going Alliance's way.
They need level 6 on EO. They need level 6 on Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit has hit level 6, but he's still very, very fragile. He does have power treads, no bottle, though, and his mana regen is quite suspect.
Looks like they did attempt a Sunstrike on EGM, but either missed it or just wasn't enough to get the kill. And he should make it back to the well safely here. So, I'm a bit worried about this Ember Spirit if I'm Cloud9. Like, he's been given free farm and he's been fed now. Already up to 4k net worth. Pretty much has the drums, like 500 gold away from those, and It could just start snowballing out of control.
How do they kill him?
How do they ignore him either? You just drop a coil, you get the ion shell in him, and vac back into that. That's scary.
Oh, here we go. Tiny and Storm. Maybe trying to kill him.
It's all magic damage, though, and he's actually got the max Flame Guard now. That's 500 magic absorb. That is pretty much the entirety of this combo. They'll zip in for Loda. He pops the Flame Guard in time, and he's actually going to turn around and kill off the Storm, I feel. Sleight of fisting through. He'll right-click Bone 7, bring him down. Now the puck joins the fray as well. Sunstrike will connect on Loda. Not enough damage.
Level 4 Flame Guard. Pretty strong.
They really shouldn't have tried for that. Knowing that he's got the Flame Guard, maybe they thought they could get him before he popped it, but it's an instant cast there. So.
They saw him with the Remnant too. Envy just straight up ran right by it, and they were prepared in time with TPs. So they do have great global presence. All 5 of the heroes can be around the map, but still, they're not really fighting in numbers. On bottom, Aki.
That's a big zip from Bone 7. He will even have Mana. Nice static storm by Ake. Not letting him out of this one freely. 2 hero silence. Trapped within it. Now Bulldog delivering with the wall. Now chasing onto Bone 7. Looking for another kill. Gets pulled back in. Will be brought down. And
Jeez.
11-5 all of a sudden. Cloud9 just self-destructing.
They did not disable him well at all, and I don't really see Storm as a comeback hero. And he's 0-3-0. He just did not have the easiest lane on top. Dazzle kept pressuring him the whole entire time in the jungle, and he has not been able to find any kills. And Loda's just been applying so much pressure without the help. And Living Armor just doesn't do that much versus Ion Shell versus Flame Guard. Even something as simple as Dazzle Poison Touch, it just falls off in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, they have mass AoE, mass damage over time to clear it out. The other thing is they don't have much to kill the Ember with max Flame Guard build. At this stage, they have no physical damage. Later on, sure, if Tiny gets big, but through the mid game, they're very weak against this Ember.
They need level some supports really badly too. Trina's only level 4, EO's level 5.5, but look at Disruptor and Dazzle. Their Dazzle is 7.5, Disruptor is almost 8.
Loda, his Flame Guard's going to wear off right now, and he'll just spear it back, but it's not really that far away. Tower Shot's still following him. He'll Remnant down to the low ground. He can zip to this one if he needs to, but doesn't want to do it just yet. Flame Guard cooling down, maybe expecting some backup. No, he'll just toy with them and then force to Remnant down in the end.
Guess he's going Lincoln's first? I've seen it before, but he doesn't do that much damage. Ember's not scary if you don't have any damage item. It's kind of like BKB Rush. It's like, we'll just ignore you.
It's okay.
It's alright. They have other damage sources is the thing.
He has had a really good start this game, and it means if you look at Cloud9, most of their initiation is single target, whether it's the Storm Pull or the Cold Snap, those being the 2 big ones. So
they have great counter initiate though. They have Grave, they have Disruptor Ultimate, they have Puck, and they have Vacuum Wall. That's so much. If they want to commit that much to killing Ember, they're probably going to lose a fight. I guess he doesn't want to die. I can understand that.
Yeah, the standard build would probably just be Drums into Battle Fury, but with the start he's had, he can kind of go for whatever he wants and still have a huge impact in the fights. Already level 10, getting close to that point in the game where I'll start leveling up the Searing Chains. Probably leave the Spirits level 1. We'll see what he wants to do. Takes the tower down. That goes the way of S4. That's almost his Blink Dagger now. And Alliance are powering up. Mech's coming online soon. Blink is coming online soon. And, well, from that point, they'll only be looking for the Lincolns. They've got all their support levels, and then they'll just be looking to take fights constantly. Cloud9 are going to have to play Keep Away.
They do have Midas on Sing Sing, and they do have Wisp Tiny, which is pretty good at playing Keep Away, but Tiny's really underfarmed.
Oh, it's the Roche.
Oh yeah, this is typical Cloud9.
Typical Cloud9, and if Alliance can shut this down, now your Invoker's gone for a Medallion, which is not really a great item if you don't get the Aegis off of it.
Yeah. He can't show it, though. If he shows it, they will just constantly dump Remnants in there.
Scout it with the Orb. There's a lot of ways to contest.
They will get crushed in a Roshan fight, I think. C9, if they actually fight 5 on 5.
They don't even have level 6 on Tree. He's level 4. Your Wisp isn't even close to max. Envy's not yet to max out his combo, and we're 14 minutes in as a carry Tiny. Nobody's ready to fight, really. And the Storm has Treads and a Soul Ring, which is a decent build for just farming and kind of
the heck?
Building up your
He's going Scotty first on Ember. Gotta get that HP.
Well, I guess it does apply the slow one to everyone, so nobody's running from this Alliance team between Surge and that.
Yeah.
And it is a good tank item. He just wants to... Looks like the game plan is just live through the burst damage for Loda, and
that's true.
Over time, you'll just win the fight with sustained AoE.
At the same time, I'm not sure if they'll have enough burst to kill someone simple like Wisp, though, in a big team fight. That's generally why you run Ember just for the huge amounts of burst. But he does do fair amount of sustained damage too. And with this T2 tower down being taken down pretty fast, I don't know if C9 can actually do Roshan.
Well, they want to take a tier 1 mid, and if Alliance give this up, then the way will be a bit more flexible for Cloud9 to move towards the pit. But S4's made his move in mid, and Alliance, they will defend while also pressuring. Living Armor gets deployed. They'll try and keep this tower alive, buff it up a bit. But it's tough to see them actually doing anything to Loda here. Maybe they can just slow him down a bit. And they've shown the medallion on Sing Sing, so if Loda's paying attention, now he knows. And out come the pings on the tree.
There's a big stack too. Looks like S4 is going to scout it out. 3 stack. But the push will continue, and now Cloud9 isn't able to pressure any tower immediately.
Yeah, mid got cleared out. The Tiny Wisp will be top. Relocate is online. But it's so risky to go into this. Ake's not there, but they do have the Darkseer mechanism online and the puck level 11. They just need to go for trades, but I don't know if they get them. Alliance can defend everything. Defend mid, defend top, and take the tier 2 bottom. They're in very good shape this game.
As long as they don't give away a Roshan and just play it slow and steady and don't concede any big team fights, I think they can take this. 5,000 experience lead for Alliance, about 7,000 gold, and that's pretty darn scary, especially considering most of it's concentrated on this big fat Ember Spirit with 1,300 HP.
He's really farmed.
He really is.
Especially considering that his CS 81 is decent, but he was an aggressive dual lane Ember who turned into a solo Ember. Normally a hero that you want to secure farm for mid or safe lane, and he's just, it's like he's had free farm all game, and
Look
on
at
top of that,
his
he's been steady
damage.
of kill after kill. The other, I think, justification for the Scotty is he's got Ion Shell, so
Yes.
he already has a lot of extra damage, even without getting a big right-click item.
Looks like S4 trying to pick somebody off on the left side, but Cloud9, they know what's going on. They're scared.
If you're Cloud9 now, you basically just look to get Envy's Ags and just split push with that. Maybe Sing Sing can sneak a Roshan at some point with the medallion. Potentially he goes Necrobook next, but their ability to take fights for the next 10-15 minutes is very, very weak.
Yeah, I think that Alliance should just control this area of the map, because that's how Cloud9 is going to come back. Taking out Ancient Stacks, taking out Roshan.
Bone 7 zipping in bottom. Does he have anything besides just the basics? No,
He has Soul Ring.
incredibly poor. He's poorer than the enemy Dazzle. I mean, there wasn't much Bone 7 could do given the lanes. Like, once the Ember just gets a level or two ahead of you, you just have to back. You can't really scratch him. You can't rely on right-click harass.
Maybe
when
getting
he
a
can
kill
try
on
to
S4
kill you.
on top. Ruh-roh.
Bait shift's ready. Is he going to get it off in time? Now the toss, the follow-up's there from the Orb, so Orb is way out. Tries to jaunt, he silences, then jumps forward. The Spirit's coming for him. He deploys a coil as well. Sunstrike coming in. He'll juke away from that as well. Blinks backwards. The Magician play from him. Now looking for more. They'll glimpse back Eternal Envy. Not really the best glimpse from Ake. Now on the retreat out. Looks like they'll both make it out safely for the time being. Ake, not much he can do here. They won't get the kill in the end. Could have maybe gotten a kill if they glimpsed the Wisp, but the path she took was like
And
this.
they'll get a free tower on bottom. Cloud9 retaliating.
Yeah, even though they don't get the kill, the coil gets used up and 2 heroes rotate in, so not too shabby.
They need to get this T2 tower, I think, to take down Roshan. But it's just constantly being spammed with living armor. It's at full HP now with that armor buff. Fun, fun.
They are not the best at removing it on towers. They don't have any summons, and no damage over time that's going to affect the tower, so it's not very good at keeping heroes up, but it is good in other situations. Now they'll throw out the Dazzle ultimate and just keep on right-clicking away, trying to chip it down slowly but surely. While Cloud9 looks for the trades, they'll farm up the tiny top. The Ags is coming very soon for Eternal Envy. In fact, just got Ags gold now, and we're only 19 minutes in. He's actually really held on nicely this game, considering how the tri-lane kind of fell apart after the first few levels. The tower does go down, though, for Alliance. They get some additional map control. Storm will zip out bottom, and, well, the main question is, can Cloud9 just start farming their Ancients? Will these be contested by Alliance? And the other side of the coin is
He's already
they managed
heading.
to sneak the Roche.
He's already heading towards it. They have their eyes on the prize. They need that money badly. Gold lead's still petering out around that 7,000 gold mark, and Cloud9 still have a lot of towers left to take too. Cloud9 has taken down 1, Alliance has taken down 5. So I guess it's mostly only just tower gold.
Yeah, it is a level 1 tiny ultimate, though, so he's not hitting particularly hard yet. Barely able to carry the club.
Oh, enough to take out the stack.
Slowly but surely, and we also have to remember that this Tiny not only has Wisp, he also has Alacrity on his side. Sing Sing, level 1 Wex for now, but he can start leveling it up, and Eternal Envy is hitting pretty darn hard. Cleans up the stack with ease, and, well, it works out well for Cloud9. They get the stack, and that's going to be a nice little tip in the gold graph for them. Smoke from Alliance, meanwhile, moving as a pack through the enemy jungle. No, I didn't see where that Sunstrike went.
I'm not sure either.
But they're wrapping around through the mid lane, and they might find some key heroes. Sing Sing about to be caught out. Surprise! It's Alliance zipping right on past as the Storm Spirit. There is a Disruptor ultimate here. Sing Sing held alive for the time being. They've lost the Disruptor, but Bone 7 could be the additional trade. 2 for 1 will be the call.
Oh, nice vacuum right as he was about to zip out.
And now they're gonna try to go high ground on the back of that. Loda is backing off of his Eye of Scotty, though, it appears. This
Dire's
is
middle tower is
very
under
odd.
attack.
Yeah, strange build indeed.
I mean, I think he would have it, right? Well, no, not yet, but he'd be...
No, he would have it.
Yeah, he would have it, because he'd have the Ultimate Orb, and he'd just have enough for the... I mean, getting the... Ultimate Orb's just not a great value item for the
It's
stats.
a
Like, you could just get a
terrible value
Drums if you want it for value.
I agree.
Maybe the team's saying, we're not going to be able to end this early, we need to adjust our game plan, and...
Dire's top tower is
10-1
under
kill streak, but it doesn't really feel that solid. It's good for them, it's not overwhelmingly good for them.
It's just because they're so slow at pushing towers. Not only is Tree on the other side, they just have no good pushing heroes, as you said. And
Tiny's almost got his Yasha, at which point this push will accelerate.
Dire's top tower.
they need a sheep on S4 ASAP so they can continue the gank pressure.
Loda will take down the tower up to 2,200 gold here. I imagine just going back into a Battle Fury with that broadsword purchase. Now rotates bottom, looking for Eternal Envy. Does not connect on the Searing Chains, though. And Eternal Envy makes his retreat, throwing out the Remnant. Meanwhile, mid, Bone 7 forced to retreat out. Pylai die on the run as well. He does go invis and will make it out safely, so...
Radiant's bottom
Cloud9 finding a way to make this their rhythm, which is split push, stall the game, don't take team fights, and don't let Alliance clump. Highlight Eye narrowly juking, the orb comes out, but he makes it away from the Sentry in time, and
is under attack.
all the while Envy's clearing out their jungle up to 2,200
Sing Sing's
gold.
doing Roche too, solo.
Wow. They're finding a way. Cloud9, they so often do. Just when you think you've got them bottled up, just when you think the game's falling apart, they go into guerrilla warfare mode.
They're really good at putting pressure at multiple points on the map, though. Roshan, T1 mid, and T2 bottom all at the same time, not having any deaths, and getting one tower, and almost... The mid one's deniable, too.
And the thing is, if Alliance start going for trades at this point, if they're not able to force fights, they'd start losing those trades. Tiny Wisp and the Invoker, who's now got like a max Exhort, he's got his 2 Forward Spirits, they will get outpushed, for sure. Lotus still doesn't even have a Battle Fury, and we're 23 minutes in, which... I mean, in reality, he's the most farmed hero on the map, but his ability to push towers is not that strong.
His item build is just like, what in the world, man?
It's like you see how he got there, but the end result is very underwhelming. And now the Wisp will relocate into the fight, tries to bring the Tiny out safely. They do escape from a nice Alliance gank. They may lose AUI here, but
Worth it.
a worthy trade. The other thing is when Wisp relocates out, it's the fact that you just have to stand around for 10 seconds and do nothing. Man, that heal hurt, though. That really hurt.
They tried to invis him right before.
It's
kinda funny.
cute, but not going anywhere. Not with the Sentry. There's your Battle Fury for Loda, so... Alliance kind of forced to take this late now, almost, or at least later than what they were hoping for.
He could have just gotten a Battle Fury and probably a Scotty at this point, and he wasn't that close to dying with, even without the defensive items.
If he really wanted to... Oh, Sunstrike on EGM mid lane. It's split now between a few heroes, just barely. Now they heal up. He should live. Earns himself up as well, but that was close to getting a kill. He could have just gone Drums and then straight Battle Fury. Would have had it like 3 minutes sooner if he wanted some HP, or maybe could have even gotten away with just rushing it.
But now, Cloud9 is just so efficient about farming the map. Tree farming top, you have Storm farming the Invoker farming the Ancients, you see Storm Spirit and Tiny farming the enemy woods, and the Alliance is starting to slowly fall behind in terms of farm. Only 5,000 gold lead now.
Yeah, part of that is the Roche effect, and in terms of towers, it's a 3 towers up. Alliance actually have a 3 tower advantage here, so if they lose those, then it's basically a dead even game at that point.
Yeah, their late game's alright. It's just a Tiny. Tiny does have Crystallis right now, but
Why not just the standard build? Why not just a Yasha
Well, Manta's not terribly
into an
great.
AC or Manta style.
Manta's not terribly great against Ember Spirit with Battle Fury.
That's a good point.
Other than that, I mean, he kind of
Yasha's still a good casual item on Tiny, though.
I agree.
Dire's
He
bottom tower
kind of
is
needs
under attack.
BKB too. You have so much magic damage.
Yeah, and the Wisp is a little squishy. AUI building towards a mech, but has 750 health. That's going to be the one concern, is... Can this Wisp stay alive in fights? Because if she doesn't...
They're smoked on the right side.
Envy's not that scary. Jumping in is Loda. They've isolated him. They found him with the Observer Ward. Envy now. The relocate out comes through, and they will save him. Bone 7 comes in from the backside, forced to zip out of mana already. Sing Sing arrives as well. Disruptor ultimate gets pulled, and now AUI, Eternal Envy, forced to back off. It was just a short distance away relocate. They do kill off the Storm Spirit on the sides of the fight. On the periphery, Sing Sing also retreating out. Bulldog hunting for more. They'll find AUI at the end of that relocate, but he tethers all the way back. Doesn't matter. Still gets brought down. Bulldog diving the tier 3. Have they overextended with this one? Another Sleight of Fist. Envy isolated, trapped in the Kinetic Field, will be brought down. Now Sing Sing's going to be next as he chases out. He has an Aegis here. He can afford to die once, but the question is, does he die twice? The screen is just having a conniption right now as we wait for the respawn. Teleport comes in, and now Envy buying back, trying to rejoin this fight. Starts working on Loda, but quite tanky, and gets glimpsed back to the well, it looks like.
Wow, that was a terrible, terrible fight for Cloud9. That could have actually been worse. Aki tried to glimpse them back right as the relocate happened, but just a split second too early, and they were able to escape. But that was what? 3 deaths, a buyback, and that's
very bad.
And a buyback on Tiny too, not just a buyback. A buyback on Tiny. He needs BKB.
And they also lost their Aegis, which had like a solid 2 minutes left on it. That's a pretty big loss as well.
Their inability to take team fights though is really startling. Like, how are they going to initiate? Maybe an overgrowth? Maybe I don't.
The Storm is supposed to be the one that goes in. He doesn't have Orchid, let alone BKB.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the Invoker.
Oh boy, double size. One on Invoker, one on Puck.
Are we gonna see the level 2X Ghost Walking Invoker moving at like 200 MS hunting for kills?
That was awesome.
Well, that might be the way to do it. I mean, they have relocate on top of that. Sure, it's slow, but you find someone, that's a free kill.
Can they kill Ember in that though?
I don't know if they can kill Ember, but the other heroes, pretty certain they can.
Well, that's almost his Scotty.
They're actually going double Hex here. Bulldog's almost got his as well.
Hex is so good versus their heroes though.
Now Tiny just he absolutely must get a BKB this game, it feels.
They don't have a gem yet. Pylai is gonna start scouting out people.
That's Force chillin'. He's been scouted now. The pings come out. Do they really want to go on a Puck with a Hex? Oh, then comes the relocate looking for him. He has Blink to the south, Orbs to the left, and makes his way out as Cloud9 attempt for the kill. Cannot find it.
And that was close. If the Overgrowth connects, he's dead.
Daedalus Recipe is online. Envy still has to farm this actual Demon Edge, though.
Poor Owie. Gets caught out after the relocate.
Yeah, will be brought down. I just feel like Envy needs BKB and at least one more item.
Invoker might need a BKB too. What's to stop Puck from just blink scything him?
Well, now Loda does have the Eye of Scotty.
Okay, so now he's farmed. And he has actually complete items instead of casual point booster and casual.
The one nice thing about Eye of Scotty is versus Tiny as a melee carry, this is going to help them kite him quite a bit. It does have the Wisp move speed to help counter.
Pylai die.
Here we go. Blinks in, coils up. Pylai die now gets silenced. The orb coming through, and Pylai die will go down. Nothing they can do about that.
Not an important kill though. If you want one hero die, it is going to be Pylai die.
Yeah, even over the Wisp, that's the ideal hero to fall.
Well, Admiral Bulldog farming his sheep. He does have it right now. So that is 2 Slice of Ice. Well,
some bad luck for Loda. He just made a run through mid, but barely fails to find these Cloud9 heroes. Well, he's coming back. He's hunting for Sing Sing. He's going to see him. Double Scythe is up. Alliance have some critical items.
they need to take Roshan. I think that's the next point, just so they don't have to worry about C9 doing it for at least 8 minutes. Oh, actually, the ward's going to spot out Eternal Envy. He's out alone.
Oh, these Ancients. He loves those damn Ancients, and it's just too much this time. Gets caught out. Loda will isolate him, and Envy's going to go down. Does he have a buyback available? No buyback for 2.5 minutes as Envy will fall. He almost cleaves down Bulldog, but the Ancients are also denied to him.
That's what you get for slaying your brethren.
Well, Alliance punished the greed of Cloud9.
You don't kill your mud golems, man. I always feel bad when I'm tiny and kill mud golems or granite golems.
No mercy. They said no mercy. They meant it, Ben. Not messing around.
Yeah. Well, here we go. Rex push 4v5 for at least 40 seconds. Ruh-roh.
Throw a Remnant forward, start working on this tower. Out comes the Glyph, and they'll look for the Sleight of Fist chain combo. It won't connect on Saint Seiya,
And
but
that
they
Scotty
keep on
slow is
sieging.
pretty absurd on...
Oh, zip in from the storm, zip back out. Now the phase shift, S4 gonna blink his way out of here. Just imagine it on the Tiny as well. Like, I don't know how many right clicks he gets off in the fight. He's up against the Poison Touch, the double Scythe, as well as the... Oh my goodness, what a Hex by S4. Finds Bone 7 as he's jumping in, instantly kills him off. Yeah, this Tiny, I don't even know if he's gonna do anything. He's still dead for now. The tower falls, and Alliance looking good in game 1. Up by a lot. 21-6 your lead, 30 minutes in, hunting for their first lane of Rax. Cloud9, hard-pressed to see how they defend this. There's just a minefield of remnants deployed here by S4, or by Loda rather, as he works on the Rax. Clears off the spirits, now keeps on moving forward. Melee Rax dropping low. Will there be a defense from Cloud9? They've got to do something soon. Hex up on Loda, but then S4 comes in. Everything thrown onto Loda. Another Sleight of Fist. This is kept alive for now starts cleaving. Now starts slaying. Eternal Envy next. 3, 4, 5 heroes dead. Even through a double buyback, it's too much. It's 6 heroes dead. It's GG. Cloud9 just get overrun by the Alliance. Slayed.
Their laning was... Well, C9, they are known for playing greedy, but that was... that's super greedy. An Evoker, a Stone Spirit, and a Wisp, and a Tree. They just didn't have anyone, like, running around the map accomplishing
The
things.
Storm felt like the one pick
Yes.
too greedy. Like, they could have gone Centaur there. I think Clockwork got banned.
They needed a good offlaner.
Yeah, Centaur was probably the best one left.
Balance Spirit. Yeah, I mean, Ember Spirit is Ember Spirit, but they got Invoker in return, so Invoker's typically not that bad versus Ember. But when Ember's stacked, 27-minute Battle Fury and Scotty, and just free farm and no deaths, 9-0 and 8 on him, he is going to wreck face.
Well, that's going to wrap up game 1. The final disconnect comes out, and Cloud9 should be GG'ing out officially any moment. We'll get the scoreboard in a sec, but what a beatdown to start off game 1. And with no winner's bracket advantage, Cloud9, well, they got to win 2 in a row now. This is not a good position for them.
And they're on Radiant, too, next game. So that's very troublesome for Cloud9.
Yeah. This is the first time Radiant has won a game in this tournament between these two teams. They played 4 games, Dire won 3 of them, and, well, score 1 for Radiant. It's a small sample size, but Cloud9 does seem to draft around the Dire side, and you see the way they itemize as well. Something like a Medallion on Invoker, you're not going to see that from Sing Sing if they're Radiant. They even there was that one point in the game where they snuck the Roshan, they were finding some farm for the Tiny, he cleans up a stack, and they were dodging fights. It felt really good, but then Alliance just realized they need to start forcing fights, being aggressive. They had some nice wards, like this ward they managed to secure, and from there they just took it over. Didn't give them any more space.
Dire's Ancient is under attack.
They GG'd and then they canceled it and then just left.
Alliance will enjoy their hard-fought win here as they kill off the throne, though.
So Cloud9, did they even get any kills in like the last like 15 minutes of the game? They got 1 kill?
10-1.
Well, I thought Alliance's draft was pretty good too. They had a very nice aggressive lineup, which I think is what they need to do versus Cloud9. Both games they won, they just brought so much pressure in like the 10 to 20 minute mark where like Midas's haven't quite kicked in. Eternal Envy doesn't quite have his items on his whatever hero he's going to play, and then it's just...
Yeah. One of the other problems for
History.
Cloud9 is Tree takes a little while to come online for his defensive capabilities. The Leech Seed is really good early on, and he hits hard, but the Living Armor is pretty lackluster at the first few levels, and you can put it on somebody, but I think it's saved maybe 1 or 2 deaths, but it's not quite the same.
Well, they
as-
drafted well around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the Ion Shell, Poison Touch, and Ember Spirit's Flame Guard. So
Yeah,
Living
more than
Armor
enough.
felt like completely useless that game.
It
Yeah.
really did.
It was good on the towers. Alliance was really bad at killing towers, but didn't matter.
They couldn't take a fight, even with them beating on the tower for like 30 seconds. They're like, whatever, I don't care.
Ember 6 swinging.
It's pretty
Desperately
funny.
trying to burn it down.
Yeah.
So what's next on the agenda for Cloud9? How do they bounce back and win 2, or even win 1?
The 2 games they've lost has just been like 1 pick too greedy, I feel like, or like 1 item too greedy. Like the 1 game yesterday where they lost to Alliance, they went for double Midas and Drow Shadow Fiend. And they were against a Pugna as well. So
And they had supports who couldn't anti-push.
yeah, they had
Yeah.
Visage, another support that's fairly like farm intensive. AUI normally plays as more of like a carry, so if they just find the right mix, think that we'll see a much closer game out of them in game 2.
I think you hit the nail on the head with that Storm. That was just one pick too greedy. I mean, how did Bone 7 end that game? He was pretty low impact.
0-7-1.
0-7-1 on a Storm.
It wasn't his individual play either. It was just like
Yeah,
there
it
was
was-
nothing Storm can do in that.
There's
way.
nowhere he can farm.
Yeah, I mean, farming the jungle on Storm is not that efficient. He even went that build that isn't necessarily that great for farming in the jungle. Level 4, he had 2 points in Vortex, and I think he got the 3rd point in Vortex at level 5.
Yeah, I didn't check his skill build after that, but
Yeah, but
I
not
think
ideal
given the
for
situation,
jungling.
probably should have leveled up Remnant
Yeah.
or the Overload.
I think he also needed a bottle too.
Yeah.
Bottle increases your efficiency a lot.
It's a lot of little things though. That was just such an awkward laning phase for Cloud9 in terms
Yeah.
of how they had to
They were
adjust.
doing well early, like early, like first 3
They
minutes.
started 3-1 with the first blood, and then things just fell apart.
Yeah. Anytime you let that Ember Spirit free farm can be a scary precedent. They just didn't find enough return farm on the Tiny to make letting that Ember
Well, he
have
was
so much
he was
space
a little
worth
bit
it.
too aggressive. He was like tower diving,
Yeah.
he tried to kill a Dazzle with Grave on, TP'd out, ended up dying, and he was off to a good start, but he doesn't have anyone else fighting with him. Like Invoker, he'll throw on Sunstrike, but he has Midas, he can't really go there. Treant, his living armor, but no offensive capabilities, and Storm Spirit just couldn't ever do anything.
Yeah.
Well, games 2's coming up.
It
Can they
sure
turn it
is.
around?
We'll find out. We'll have a short break, guys, and then game 2 of this best of 3 series coming up for the Dreamhack Bucharest finals.